I had a person on my one of my YouTube channels that wanted me to do a video about my excuse me, about my childhood and part of my life that I've had. And I've made a couple of videos in the past where I've talked about uh, certain events that's transpired in my life. But I'll just kind of give you a little bit of a rundown on my life. In elementary school, second grade was my favorite grade. I had a teacher by the name of Mrs. Buffmeyer. She was a really cute woman, and we had a lot of fun in that class. We built a store and out of orange crates and blankets, and then the students would bring empty boxes of cereal and cream of wheat or whatever, cans of items and things like that to school every day when they came. And so we would stock the shelves of our store, and then we would take different turns of someone would run the cash register, and then a couple of students would be the customers and so forth. And it just taught us to make change and things like that. It was really fun. It was really the funnest class that I probably had was second grade. And at that time, when I used to do my spell, I was really good at spelling. My mother used to help me at spelling, and I used to get hundreds all the time. I'm not good at spelling now, but I was fantastic at spelling then because I studied. And anyway, Mrs. Buffmeyer always used to give me a red heart, and then she'd put excellent, 100%, whatever. And she'd always give me a red heart with a red marker. And anyway, she used to have me go over to the store. I guess it was about a block away from the school. She might have not, maybe she shouldn't have done this, if the principal knew about it, but she paid me like a quarter to go over and get her some Frito-Lays, whatever you call it, Fritos, corn chips, so she could have them with her lunch. And she says, here's another, I think at the time a bag was like 15 cents or something. Shows how old I am. Anyway, she says, here, Ron, get a bag for yourself, And so I was kind of the teacher's pet, and, well, I was the teacher's pet, Look at this. So I was a teacher's pet, while the other students were doing homework and studying, not homework, but they were studying in the class. What was Ron doing? He was going across the street on an excursion, buying corn chips for myself and for Mrs. Buffmeyer. Wow, she was so cute. Anyway, so I did that. So I was the teacher's pet, And I remember, throughout elementary school, I remember I think I was in fourth grade, that during our singing time in class, the teacher, she'd walk up and down the aisles to try to hear the people sing, and she'd always stop at me and she's, "Oh, Ron, you'll be a great singer someday." And then I had a girl by the name of Patricia. That when I was in fourth grade, that I used to put my foot out on the aisle, and she used to put her foot on top of my foot, and we would stay that way during the whole class, with our feet touching each other. And I really thought she was beautiful. She was probably the most beautiful girl in the whole fourth grade. I mean, almost in the school. She was a doll. And so I had that connection with her, and of course it was hard for me to study with that connection. If the teacher went towards that aisle, then we would remove our feet from each other. And then as soon as she couldn't see us, then we do that. Of course, all the students on both sides knew we were doing. But they understood, Patty. Look at this, huh? Seriously, if you were in school in 4th grade and I was sitting there next to you, wouldn't you want to put your foot on my foot? Or maybe your hand on my hand? Huh? Sure you would. Who wouldn't? Then I went to junior high, and during junior high, I was dating, went steady with a girl that from another school that was 2 years older than I was. And she, of course, she taught me the facts of life and everything. And she was gorgeous. Her name was, her name was Karen. And she was an absolute doll. But anyway, I had quite an experience with her. And then when I got to high school, I told you before in some other videos that I had a beautiful sky blue, baby blue, robin egg blue, whatever you call it, Mustang when they first came out. I think it was 64, 65, I don't remember. And black bucket seats, convertible. And I got that by throwing papers in the morning. I threw about 116 newspapers in the morning, and made enough to make the payments on that Mustang. At that time, you could buy a new Mustang for like, $2,300. And so I did, and so I was the envy of every young woman in high school. They used to just love going for a ride with me in the Mustang. We used to go over to 7-Eleven, get some Slurpees, and then we'd go up in the canyon, up in the mountains, and we'd do some more Slurpees. I mean, we'd have some more. I mean, we'd drink our Slurpees. But it was so fun. I mean, I was, had cheerleaders in the car. I mean, one time I had 2 cheerleaders in the car, and plus another gal. And they're all gorgeous. God, they're all so cute. But you could see we'd drive around. We'd drive. Of course, the top was down. We'd drive around the school a couple of times, kind of slow, and watch the other students' reaction at high school about me and these good-looking women in my Mustang, my new Mustang. But it was a fun time of life, Then I went to, later on in life, I became a stockbroker, and I was with 4 different brokerage firms. But anyway, I got a job one time selling cemetery property and funeral programs. I mean, laugh if you want, but it was probably the best job I had as far as making money. I mean, I made more money on that than I did being a stockbroker. And because everybody's going to die, and everybody needs eventually to think about final arrangements for their loved one. And it's true that when you lose a loved one, you think to yourself, this is the very last I can do for him or for her, to show him or her that I love them. And so you emotionally overspend money. You might get a casket with a mattress that goes up and down, or whatever. And so you needlessly overspend your money on like a casket with all the frills, reversible mattresses and all that kind of bullshit. Needlessly, because you're trying in your mind, you're thinking, I want to show Valerie or Tom or whoever it was that died that you miss them and you love them, and so you get the best you possibly can for what you have. And most of the time, you don't have the money, but you overspend anyway, because this is the very last you can do for them, boys and girls. You love them, don't you? Well, why would you only spend, $966 for the Alaskan bronze casket, when for just $240 more, you can get the Royal Gorge? So anyway, I was their top salesman for years. I was a top salesman. I remember, and I swear to God, and I swear to you people that this was true. I was so good that one New Year's Day, I figured that everybody would be home watching football games, and so on New Year's Day I went and knocked on people's door, cold calling. Didn't have any appointment. And so, of course, I interrupted their football games and stuff. But everybody that I met that day was so nice. And anyway, that day, on New Year's Day, I sold 9 contracts. And the average commission was around $100 for what I was selling. Sometimes I'd sell another casket or caskets. Sometimes I might sell another lot. Sometimes I might sell a marker, a double marker, maybe a couple of bolts, whatever it was. And but I made, and this was like in 1971, so it was a long time ago. But I made $1,000 just for that day because the average commission on the contracts was about $100. So one day I made $1,000. But it was a great job. I loved that job. I'd go out at night on 3 or 4 confirmed appointments where people were expecting me to come. Had 3 appointments, usually at least 3, sometimes 4, between 6 and 8:30, for instance. And it would be a terrible night if I didn't walk away with, $150 in my pocket for the night, just for the night. So it was a great job. But I had all the lines. I mean, people are dying to get there. I had all the lines that I could say to kind of get a laugh out of them. I'd say, well, people are dying to get there. People laugh. Or I'd say, well, look, we have a fantastic layaway program for Christmas. No, we really do. People laugh at that. Or, we'd be the last to let you down, really. Or we have a 50-year guarantee on the vault or the casket, and if you're not happy, just come back at any time during that 50 years and tell us, and we'll give you a new one. But it was just a fun time. I remember the first time that I sold a contract, I was with a really nice couple. The last name was Ruffner, and they said, okay, we'll get 2 casket programs. And I says, well, how much would you like to put down? I was expecting maybe, 10% down, maybe, $200 down or something. And they says, oh, we'll just pay cash for it. I was so nervous that I could hardly fill out the contract because I was so nervous because, there was, about $250 for me or whatever, for that just one appointment. And I've never made that kind of money. And so I was so nervous I could hardly fill the contract out. But anyway, it was a great job, and I really loved that job. And I was a success. In fact, the sales manager, when he found out that I'd sold 9 contracts on one day, we'd turn in our sales, the next day. And anyway, when he knew that I had sold 9 contracts during that holiday day, he told me not to turn them in all at once, to kind of spread them out, because he said that the other salesmen would feel bad and think that I got the best leads. I didn't get any better leads than they did, but I just worked them, But it was a great time. But I all through my life I've had nice things happen to me. And because look at this, huh? Seriously, I mean, I know I'm not, the best looking guy in the world, but I know I'm better looking than you are. No, seriously. Go in the mirror and look in the mirror. Are you looking at yourself in the mirror? Take a good look at yourself, seriously. Did you look in the mirror? Okay. Now, seriously, compare what you just saw in the mirror with this, huh? I mean, seriously, look at this. Can you see the difference, boys and girls, between your image in this? I've always been a doll. I really have. You know? Who is most likely to succeed? Me. And who did succeed? Me. I'm not trying to brag, but it's true. You know, if it's true, it's not bragging, is it, huh? No! It's like gambling. If you win at gambling, it's not gambling, it's winning, baby. Beautiful, beautiful. How can you gamble? How is it called gambling if you win? It's only gambling if you lose, and you're a loser. I'm not a loser. How can this be a loser? Seriously. I've got so many women now. I mean, I'm 60. I just turned 68 yesterday. I know I don't look 68. I know that. and you know that. But I've got so many women that I get tired. I really do. I get tired. You know, I get tired of talking on the phone or, you know, going out on, you know, luncheons or, you know, taking them to dinner and then, you know, the activities afterwards, you know, the make-out sessions and, you know, different love deals. I won't go into the details, but you can imagine. you can imagine what the girls do to this guy, you know? But I get tired. I really do. But I try my hardest. I really do. I try my hardest to make them happy. If I just had one woman, I can make her happy and, you know, just wouldn't be any problem at all. But when you've got like 8, you know, usually 7, but sometimes 8, when she's in, you know, in the city, when she does a lot of traveling, well, you know, I have to spread my time around and I get tired, you know. I'm not a 20-year-old like I used to be. I get tired. But I try to keep them all happy. I really do. But I have a great life, and I'm looking forward to you know, even a greater life as time goes on, where I reach probably the 100-year mark, and I hope that I can continue to be the humble person, to be the humble and kind person that like I am today, you know. I care about you people. I really do. I don't just think about myself. Do you think I just sit around and think about myself all day and all night? Do you really, honestly, do you think that I wake up at night to go to the bathroom, you know, to take a leak, and I think, oh, I'm cool. I'm sure a cool guy. I really am. I don't think that. No, I'm thinking about you, the underdog. You know, I think, no, I wish, you know, I hope that you're having a nice sleep. I hope that you're not interrupted by having to get up and, you know, go to the bathroom. You know, but don't think about me. And in the morning when I wake up, you know, I go down and have a nice breakfast, and I don't think about me. Thinking about, boy, I sure have a great breakfast. I had pancakes, I had muffins, scrambled eggs, bacon, orange juice. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't think about that. I think about you, and if you're going without, you know. I really do. I think you are a great person. I really do. Really.